There are really two miracles that we've come to celebrate this morning. The first is probably the one that we're all thinking about. It's the miracle at the center of this story that we've been telling this morning. Right in the middle of all of the mighty works of God, his works of creation, his works of rescue, his works of restoration, right at the middle of all that is the angel's announcement to Mary Magdalene and the other Mary this morning. He is not here. They go to the tomb this morning and they find it empty. All evil did its worst, and Christ arose victorious. Death did not have the last word. Life broke forth from the tomb this morning. The women are shocked, amazed, in awe. They leave in fear and great joy. They leave with their world turned upside down to announce this good news to their friends. As they travel the road, he appears. Do not be afraid, he tells them. Do not be afraid because death itself is defeated. Do not be afraid because God is in control. Do not be afraid because there is too much good news to tell. There is too much good work to do. Do not be afraid. The first miracle we celebrate this morning is the glory of the risen Christ. But there is a second miracle, too. It's one that we know, but it may not be in the forefront of our minds this morning. It's deeply connected to that first miracle. And it's the fact that the resurrection is not something that just happened once and is now finished. Rather, the same power that raised Christ from the dead on Easter morning is at work in our world and in our lives this Easter morning. The tomb remains empty. And as we go about our days and our lives, we are confronted by that same risen Christ who tells each and every one of us, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid because death remains defeated. Do not be afraid because the power of Christ is still at work. Do not be afraid because God is still in control. A few moments ago, we all renewed our baptismal vows. And these are the promises of a people who have had their fear replaced by faith in the risen one. Renounce evil. Believe in God. Keep in love and fellowship with each other. Share the good news. Seek and serve Christ in everyone. These are not timid promises. These are not flippant agreements. These are things that require a life that refuses to be afraid. These are promises that only the miracle of Easter can empower us to make. So go from this place this morning of all mornings, renewed and overjoyed. Go as a people unafraid. Go and live those promises we've made in the glorious light of the risen one. There's a great tradition at the Easter Vigil in the Eastern churches of reading the beautiful Easter homily of St. John Chrysostom. I'd like to close this morning with the final section of that amazing sermon. O death, where is thy sting? O hell, where is thy victory? Christ is risen and you are overthrown. Christ is risen and the demons are fallen. Christ is risen and the angels rejoice. Christ is risen and life reigns. Christ is risen and not one dead remains in a tomb. For Christ, being raised from the dead, has become the first fruits of them that have fallen asleep. To him be glory and might unto the ages of ages. Amen.